How you doing? This is Coach D from Code 31 Media, but my friend told me to start it like this, so y'all ready? It's Code 31. That was for Renee. Yeah, royal. Anyway, I want to thank everybody who tuned in for the first show. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to all my cameramen that were on that show. But now we are on the second show, only on S.STREET Media, Code 31 Media TV podcast. And we are live on YouTube, guys. So go to S.STREET Media on YouTube. We are live on S.STREET Media on YouTube. So everybody tune in. Okay? All right, so before I get started to introduce you to my guests, I have to go real quick on TikTok because we got the 21 TikTok edition. Okay? And I have a surprise for a few of my TikTokers. So shout out to Big Baby Scotty and Hot Granny for being on the cover of the 21 TikTok edition of Code 31 Media magazine. But there's one young lady in here that I truly want to shout out. She is a single mother. She has a beautiful daughter. She's short in stature, but her heart is bigger than life. I wish I would have already had it on her page. But her name is Latoya, and she has a daughter named Nene, that just had a birthday. So happy birthday to Nene. Toya, keep doing your thing. I'm proud of you. I can't find your page right now, but I want to tell you that I'm very proud of you, and I want you to keep on rocking and keep on rolling. But now we're going to start the show. So I want to introduce my guest to you. In front of me, we have Janelle from the Glen Report.
Yes, thank you for having me. Yes.
And we also have, this is my special guest because without Keri, I probably wouldn't be in front of you right now. He has had me on his show several times. He is my inspiration. So I want to introduce to you Keri D. Singleton from Keri's Corner radio show.
Thank you. You inspire me so much. So that's an honor coming from you, sweetie. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
On your new platform.
Thank you.
Yes,
shout out to Matt for S.STREET Media and Worldorama.
Absolutely.
Without these guys believing in me, I would not be sitting before you. So let's get started. Janelle, let the world know who Janelle is in the Glen Report.
Well, I'm Janelle Glen, and I got started in the industry back in 2012. Jack Thriller put me on, and I was blogging for jackthriller.com. Then later on got signed by Hip Hop Weekly. And now, after working with Hip Hop Weekly for some years, I decided to start the Glen Report.
Okay.
Yeah.
And right now, that's a blog site that I have on social media that you can find out on www.theglenreport.com. And it's all over Instagram. It's all over Facebook. And I just write about different artists and stuff.
So what inspired you to want to get into media?
Well, I always wanted to work with celebrities. I wanted to get into the industry. And actually, I was an artist first. I was a poet. I used to perform at showcases.
Oh.
And I had a blog business outside of the industry, which was called Empower Network. Okay. And I used to blog a lot of metaphysical knowledge and stuff. And I wound up going to DJ Envy's event one day, and somebody told me, why don't you start your own media company in the industry and blog about independent artists? And I'm like, where I could do that and get in? They was like, yeah. So I did that, and it took off.
Go ahead, sorry about that. Go ahead.
And it took off. So it was a wonderful experience.
Okay. So if you had to, and how many years you been doing this?
Since 2012. So
Okay.
I say about 10 years now.
All right, so if you had to give some pros and cons of being in this industry, what would that be?
Well, I would tell people to focus on your brand. Build your brand while you work for these mainstream platforms. Don't just totally neglect yourself in this business, because that's what I basically did, and that was my mistake. You know, I was supposed to build my brand while I was working for Jack Thriller and Hip Hop Weekly.
Okay. And what's the pros?
The pros.
Like, what's the good things?
The good
that
things
come with being in the media.
Yeah. The good thing with being in the media, you get to network with a lot of different people. You get to sharpen up your skills and stuff, and you get to get on bigger platforms and things of that nature. Like you always get a chance to elevate in this business if you do the right things and circle yourself around the right people.
Absolutely. So now we're going to move on to Keri. We're going to go back and forth. All right. So, Keri, let the world know about who Keri D. Singleton is.
First and foremost, I'm a supporter 150% of Coach D and everything that she does. Supporting Code 31 Media in all aspects and everything that you do. Absolutely. Keri's Corner Radio Show. We air here on S.STREET Media and on some other networks across the country and over in London. I'm also the president of Intrigue Magazine, so congratulations,
Thank
sister,
you.
to this right here.
Thank you.
Because this is what I'm talking about. This is what it's all about, taking it back to print magazine.
Yes.
And by the way, the colors and the layouts and I can't wait to dive into it myself.
Yes.
I see a picture.
Shout out to Jerry Fontillo. That's
you
my
and
guy.
Uncle Ralph. I see a picture right here. So shout out to you for that. And of course, also the producer of my own television show, which is called Sessions Cafe TV show, which has been in limbo, but we're going to resurrect it in 2022. We actually got an award for the very first episode, so that kind of gave me the incentive to want to push the show. Basically, what the TV show is, we're interviewing ordinary people with extraordinary stories.
Okay.
Whereas with the radio show, it's traditional. We're interviewing not just celebrities, not just recording artists, but small business persons, models, designers, actors, etc.
So I can be on the TV show. Then.
Exactly, of course. But the only thing about that is, you are extraordinary. So we're gonna have to make an exception for you. But the radio show is a platform that I built. We're actually, this April 1st will be our 10th year anniversary on the air, and we've expanded and been blessed to be on awesome platforms like S.STREET Media. But the Keri's Corner Radio Show was created to provide a platform for persons of interest that commercial radio would not offer their platforms to.
That's pretty much why I created Code 31 Media, which stands for Competition Officially Doesn't Exist. 31 is my basketball number. And I just felt like I filled the niche of, people that don't have an opportunity. That's why. So when I did the first magazine, it was like, oh, well, you just have celebrities and that's all you... No. That's not what the focus was.
Right.
When I started this in 2018, he was my first interview.
And you gotta, I just say this? You gotta have somebody like KRS to grab the people's attention. You know what I mean? So. But
basically, it goes back to my boy Jerry, because I was writing for other magazines and they would always promise me the cover or a feature, and it never happened.
Right.
So Jerry was like, you know what? I found a blueprint to doing the magazines. We're going to do your own magazine. We're going to put you on the cover of your own magazine.
Right.
So it was funny when I did this, somebody said, oh, you're on the cover of the magazine with KRS-One? And I said, that's what bosses do. When you have your own magazine, you put yourself on the cover.
Yeah, exactly.
So I just did a whole issue of everybody that made an impact on me on Code 31 Media. So that's why in the first issue you see KRS-One and Rakim and all these other Nas and Slick Rick and Ralph McDaniels.
Yes.
And also this is Seti from Human Canvas magazine. I wrote for his magazine. And shout out to Fifi from Rare Royalty magazine.
Can I interrupt though? I hate to interrupt because this is your show, but you got to show the people the dopeness on the back.
I created everything.
Serious.
I created everything in here. So
Gorgeous.
I just made a cartoon of myself on the back.
Yes.
Because I didn't draw this, but I do draw.
Right.
So like this on my jersey is what I drew.
Dope, yeah.
So yes, I try to be different.
Right.
So when they told me, oh, you only did, you only using the celebrities and all this stuff, I was literally getting hate email and everything like that.
If you don't get hate email in this business, you're doing something wrong.
But I'd rather not. But anyway, so then I created the second issue, which are 21 TikTokers and their personal stories.
Nice.
You know, because I wanted to go a different route. Like people, you know, try to dictate to you how to go a certain way. So shout out to, like I said earlier, I didn't get to do it on my TikTok, but I'm going to do it on my Instagram because they're on Instagram. There's a young lady. She is short in stature. She's a single mom. She has a beautiful daughter, but her heart is bigger than life. Shout out to Toya and her daughter, Nini, who just celebrated her 5th birthday, fellow Capricorn. So shout out to them. So y'all go pick up the magazine, Code 31 Media Magazine, issue number 2 with the 21 TikTokers. Shout out to Big Baby Scotty and Hot Granny on the double cover and everybody that's involved in the magazine. So now, back to you, Keri. You've been in the game 10 years. What are the pros and cons from your aspect?
The radio show is almost 10 years old. I've been in the music industry legitimately. I started working for Arista Records in 1992.
Wow.
I was right out of high school. I was doing an internship at a radio station up in Boston. I can't remember whether it was TLC or Tony Braxton. One of the two of them came into the radio station. Their promoter from Arista Records, which was the umbrella label for Arista, for LaFace, Bad Boy, and Rowdy at the time.
Okay.
Her name was Kim Ferguson. She came in. I was, like I said, maybe in my 19.
Okay.
And I said, well, wow, interesting job. What do you do? So instead of playing around with the celebrities and fawning over them, I was kind of fawning over Kim. And one thing led to another shortly. She said, you know, you seem to like what I do and you seem to pay attention to what I do. You want a job? And I was 19, 20 years old when I first started working with Arista Records. So the career in music business has been long. I worked for Power 105. I worked for Blunt Records, Palm Tree Records.
Wow.
The radio show is 10 years old, and it's actually an offshoot of a show that I was on as a co-host many years ago. I didn't even want to do a radio show. I just wanted a platform to promote my first book. And when the show that I was on was about to get canceled because the ratings were low, the station manager that I was working with at the time, David Glover, he said, the show that you're on isn't doing too well. The only thing that's saving it is you. So I'm canceling that show and I'm giving you your own show. And I was like, yeah, I don't want my own show. He's like, yeah, I think you should have your own show. I'm like, yeah, I don't want my own show. You can call it Keri's Corner or something. I was like, that's a stupid name. And 10 years later,
look,
we have the Keri's Corner radio show. Yeah.
So the point of this show I wanted to do is unity of media. And that's why I brought you guys in, because it's so much crabs in a barrel mentality in this media. Yeah. And so what advice can you give somebody who wants to build with other people, but yet it's so many people that, you know, try to, you know, deter the unity?
My advice?
Well, we could do her first.
Yeah, ladies first.
Well, my advice would be never pay attention to the naysayers. Don't engage in negativity. Stay in your own lane. Work at your own pace. Don't compare yourself to anybody else's progress. And just believe in yourself and put in the work. Damn. And over time,
you know what?
You'll be on.
We're gonna have to make you run that back.
Yeah, so that was knowledge amazing. Dropped right there.
That was amazing. All right, one more time for my video. So one more time, what'd you say?
I said, well, the first thing, never pay attention to the naysayers. Don't engage in negativity. Stay in your own lane and work at your own pace. Don't compare yourself to anybody else's progress, and believe in yourself. When you believe in yourself and put in the work, you'll be on.
Damn.
That's what it is. And Keri?
I don't know how I can measure up to that. I would just add, think outside the box. Don't be afraid to shake hands. So like when you and I, D, you and I see each other at a lot of different events, fashion shows, etc. We always give each other love. And what we also do is when we're in a space where there's other people that we feel would be, interesting to build our brands, we introduce each other to those people. Yes. So I'll be like, blah, blah, blah. This is Coach D and blah, blah, blah. I'm not afraid to introduce you to people that I think will enhance your brand and vice versa. Because I have a different frame of mind. Again, when I first got my job at Arista Records, it was because, this sister, Kim Ferguson, was the Northeast Regional VIP for Arista Records. I was just a 19-year-old kid that liked music. And, she didn't have to give me a job or an internship. None of that. You know, she just kind of saw something in me. I assume she saw something in me that she felt would blossom into something else, and she gave me a shot, right?
Yes.
And so I was 19, and I never forgot that this woman from New York, I remember, you know, 'cause I was in Boston at the time where I was born and raised, she gave me a shot. So I always felt like wherever I go, whatever I do with this, whatever's going to happen, I want to always pay it forward. And I just feel like the people in this, unfortunately, you know, the truth of the matter is the most successful people in this business are not necessarily the nicest people or the kindest people or the fairest people. I probably would be a wealthy man if I was a scumbag.
Yes.
But I just didn't want to be that. It wasn't in
Yes.
my nature. And I felt like, you know what? I'd rather just... I've always been a team player. I'm more comfortable in a family environment. And so even if it's just a business family environment, I like that. I like to be able to see you out at events and we hug and we take pictures.
Yes.
You know, I like that. I just kind of think, again, piggybacking what the sister said. I think she said it all.
Yes,
I think Janelle said it all.
Very proud of you, Janelle.
No.
Thank you.
But just to add to that, just don't be afraid to shake hands. Not everybody's going to be receptive.
Right.
There are a lot of selfish sharks in this business.
And so how do you handle that if you want to cover certain events and you know there are people there that are there to deter you or make sure that you don't go to those events, or they hit you up last minute knowing that you can't go to those events?
Yeah, those that hit you up last minute are actually the fake industry friends, because we have industry friends, right?
Yes.
We have our friends.
Yes.
We have our Facebook friends. And
Yes.
then we have our industry friends.
Yes.
The industry friends, we did give the fake kisses, we give the fake shake hands and all that. If we weren't doing what we were doing, we would never hear from these people ever again, ever,
Yeah.
right? The only reason that we're friends is because we share the same business, right?
But I don't know how to be a fake friend. Like, you will see it on my face. You will see the disgust on my face.
Yeah, but you got
if I'm around somebody that I don't like, I'm not going to rock with
we're not saying people that you don't like. We're saying people necessarily that...
No, there's a lot of people in the industry
there's that.
Just fake. And if I'm like, oh my God, how are you? You're going to see my real
Your poker
truth
face
on my face is going to be
right
like...
off. Yeah. It's not easy. It's just like, I think it's just like any other business or any other social situation. You got to play your cards. You got to, deal with people in so far as much as you have to.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
So is it,
Can I say something?
Yes, you can.
Because I would say for all the years that I've been out here doing media, when people act like they don't want me at their event or they want to invite me last minute and stuff, then I'm going to find out how I could benefit from the situation.
There you go.
Like, I'm going to try to finesse you because you're trying to finesse me.
Right.
So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being finesse as long as you don't leave out of the room with nothing in your hand.
Right.
At the end of the event.
You know what? Shout out to my guy Jerry, because even when I went to an event and I felt like, dang, I didn't really, get anything out of sitting there for 4 or 5 hours. He's like, no, you networked, you took pictures with people. Right. You got something. Don't ever go into a situation and say you didn't get anything out of it. Because even if it's just a little piece,
even if
got
it's just
something.
one person,
you got something.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to Jerry Fontillo. He's like my voice of reason. He calls me every morning to straighten me out, because sometimes I'll be like, well, this person is hating on me, or that. He said, who cares?
Right.
We killing them right now with the magazines.
Right.
We killing them right now with the magazines.
Right.
Now we got the podcast with S.STREET Media.
Right.
Even when we do the in-person interviews, you are killing out here. That's why they're mad. Just keep going. Don't worry about them.
Success is one hell of a piece of punishment.
Yes, it is. You kill them with success. That's what I've been doing.
Yeah. But even I feel like even I don't necessarily want to use the word enemies, but even your adversaries or your opponents in this game, you can benefit from them. You can learn from them.
Yeah, because they just really promoting the hell out of me on social media. So
use that energy. Use that energy to fuel you to do better things.
Yes. So, and that's what we doing. We doing bigger and better things here on S.STREET Media, Code 31 Media TV podcast. And like I said, this whole month, I wanted to bring in people that inspired me or made an impact on my life. So that's why you're here, Keri. That's why you're here, Janelle. That's why you're here, Royal. And I just wanted to start my podcast out with the people that I truly appreciate for having an impact on my life in media and in my personal life.
Dope.
So what do we have coming up next, Janelle?
Well, right now, I just got a situation where I'm going to be working with M-Easy.
Okay.
Nice.
So, over at Power 105.
Congratulations.
About that. Thank you to my boy Scripts. Thank you to M-Easy for the opportunity. I've been working with him for some time now, taking pictures. I booked some interviews for M-Easy through his booking agent, Dory. Shout out to her. That's like my sister right there. So, yeah. And I just been working, so... And I'm going to be putting more articles on the glenreport.com, so y'all have to stay tuned for that, too.
And should we introduce her as the new member of S.STREET Media Team? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm starting my own radio show. I can't wait.
That is dope.
Next week, I'll be live.
Welcome to the family. See, this is what it's about. Unity of media. You know what I mean? She didn't know she was coming here tonight and she knew math. You know what I mean? That's why it's good to never burn bridges. Amen. You never know. It's a very small industry. It's a very small world. So you never know who you might bump into that may make an impact on your life, or you can build with somebody.
Right.
So, like I said, she came into the situation tonight just thinking, oh, I'm just going to, I'm hanging out with Coach D on her show, and she's going to interview me. And now she got her own radio show. Yeah. This is what I'm talking about. Unity of media.
Right. Shout out to Mav. Shout out to S.STREET Media. I appreciate the opportunity, and I can't wait.
Yeah.
Let's get it. Let's go. And Keri, what we got coming up next?
Okay, so the radio show's 10th anniversary is coming up in April. What we're going to do is we're going to have a big 10th anniversary event at S.TREET Cinema and Cafe and here in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. We're going to showcase a documentary that will be based on the 10 years of the Keri's Corner Radio Show on the widescreen. And then, we'll have popcorn and cake and sparkling cider or whatever. But yeah, we're going to have a send-off party for the radio show in April. I don't have a date yet, but of course, I'll be begging you to come.
What do you mean send-off? Is that because you just told on yourself a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to wait. Yeah, we're going to wait. We're going to wait.
That right there is a dope journalist, because you caught that. And I caught that. But thank you for also letting me skip over that.
Yeah. We want part 2 with Keri. Yeah. It's coming later.
Yeah.
And,
we'll talk about that
later on.
But other than that, just,
Where can they reach you? Wait, let's go back to her. Where can they reach you on social media, young lady?
They could reach me on IG at I'm So Universal. That's IMSOUNIVERSAL. I'm So Universal.
Okay.
And you could find me on Twitter on The Glen Report. And you could find me on Facebook at Janelle Heru Glen.
Okay. So y'all follow her on all her social media. She's also on TikTok. She's being very modest.
Oh, J Glen. I'm So Universal. You can find me under J Glen or I'm So Universal.
I think you're going to be such a dope addition to the S.STREET Media family. I think we will benefit as a collective from having you on board.
Yes, so I'm excited. I can't wait. I got a lot to
share.
So
Janelle, you know what I'm going to say next. Ready?
What?
It's
Code 31.
Let's get it. All right, Keri, where can they find you?
And then, I'm sorry, her shirt, though. Her sweatshirt. Excellence. That's a mantra. She's walking around. She's letting you know straight off the back before she even opens her mouth what she's about. Excellence, period.
Yes.
You can reach me on Facebook, Keri D. Singleton. D now, because there's a Keri Singleton that we're not even related, but we're very good friends.
Okay.
Actually. Twitter, the Keri's Corner Radio Show. Instagram, Keri's Corner Radio Show. Snapchat, everything
Keri D. Singleton, Keri's Corner Show.
You can find me somewhere.
Yeah, you Google him. He's big time, guys.
I'm only as big as those who space I share with.
So,
and again,
Keri,
I want to salute you, sister.
Thank you so much. Yeah. And before you go, you got to say it's
Code 31 Media.
Let's get it. Listen, this show means so much to me. We have one more guest coming up, but this is the Unity of Media show, and we will be right back.
God, you already know, man. Listen up.
In the field, they launching missiles, it's going down. It on clear with holes and
It's cool. 31, y'all. Get it. Let's go. that she just introduced herself. We would like to introduce. Matter of fact, Royal, introduce yourself because you just said it's cold. 31, so just introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Royal. I just came to show some support to Code 31 Media, Dawn, and everything she got going on in S.STREET Media. It's very exciting. It's electric. The energy is great. We need this. It's 2023. We got to start it off hot, heavy. You know what I mean? We got to start it off, set it off.
Set it off because guess what? I wasn't recording on this one, so just say it one more time for me if you don't mind.
It's Code 31, y'all! Get it! Support!
Yes. So, Roy, let them know a little bit about yourself.
Okay. You know, I don't like talking about myself. I came here to support.
Yes.
I'll talk about my company and where I started, and that's it.
Okay.
So my company's name is Royal Hustler Promotions, and then I have Royal Hustler Company. So the promotions company, I promote a lot of different companies. I just promote stuff. And the Royal Hustler Company is kind of like a PR arm where I work with people and independent artists, where I do placement and bookings and, you know, stuff like that.
And so how long have you been doing this?
Actually, this is going into my 6th year.
Congratulations.
Okay.
Thank you.
And so in the 6 years, tell us, like, what is the biggest accomplishment that you think you've
The greatest
done?
accomplishment for me, I want to say actually was this year. No, last year, 2022. Well, actually, I can't mitigate the journey.
Going into 2023.
I can't mitigate the journey, you know, because I was learning people and learning situations and learning business opportunities and what opportunities to accept and which ones to reject.
Right.
Okay.
So the rejection is extremely important.
So, yeah, that would go into my next question of the pros and cons that you've been doing in the 6 years.
Okay. Well, I don't really want to go into pros and cons because you can't put it in a shell. You know what I mean? Everybody has their opportunity. We all different. We all have different motives. Some people find great situations and bad situations. You know what I mean?
Well, you was talking about that when you were saying,
Right.
subtracting away from it.
Right.
So that would kind of be like the cons of.
But for me, I can speak for myself.
Yeah, for yourself. That's what I want.
In terms of, you know, I've learned in terms of the way people treat you when they think you're a nobody versus where they treat you when you're doing something.
Right.
Yes.
So I learned to reject in my space now those that, and I don't want to say it's against the people, but it's a spirit. You know, it's not people, it's a spirit. So I just want to be able to keep moving in a positive space because that's what's going to take us to the next place.
Absolutely.
Right.
So you had a big trip to LA.
Oh, yeah, I did. Well, it was nothing that I did on my own. I got invited to a Jason Lee event, and his people sent me the invite. In fact, I got another invite. I was supposed to go to the one where Remy Ma just hosted, but I couldn't make it because, you know, I think I told you I started this new job, and they've been fucking up the payroll since I started. Like the whole month of December.
Not the money.
Yeah, they was messing up payroll.
money.
And I'm like, all right, I've never been through this before, but everything that I go through, I don't take it personally against people. I look at it, okay, God, we got this far because my company, Royal Hustler Company, Royal Hustler Promotions, I never said, that was never like a dot on, like it was never anything that I said I was going to accomplish in life. Okay. My entrance really into media and music was from years ago. Like when I was a teenager, I worked in a record store. Okay. Right? I worked in a company called Record Explosion, and I met a lot of people that were on the up and coming. Wow.
She made the first Code 31 Media magazine.
Shout out to Hip Hop Boulevard.
That's dope. Yeah, shout out to Hip Hop Boulevard. Absolutely.
Shout out to Hip Hop Boulevard.
Yeah, Al Pizarro. We got you, Al.
We got you, Al. Shout out to Hip Hop Boulevard.
Yeah. So, what was I talking about?
The record store.
Right. So I worked in a record store when I was like maybe 19. I worked in a record store probably to like I want to say maybe 28. But
Wow.
Yeah, but not like exclusively. Like what happened was I started as a cashier in a record store, 2 Broadway, right by the Staten Island Ferry.
Yeah.
So I met like MC Lights, DJ used to come in here, the guys from Blue Cheese, UMCs.
Okay.
Wow.
So it's a lot of people that used to come in the record store, even when they was doing the what was that movie with the Bobby Brown song? Ghostbusters 2.
Okay.
Gotcha,
The cast came in the store.
Okay.
Yeah. So I met a lot of people back then, and we used to go to a lot of, and that's how I started going to parties, because the industry, like MCA Records, which is now Universal, the record companies, the labels, they used to put us on the guest list, and we used to go to parties. So that's how, that was my entrance into parties back then.
Nice.
Yeah. So from that, I mean, once I realized, I had my son, and then it's like, okay, this record store job is fun, but at the end of the day, I got a kid to support. Yes. So I went back to college, and then that's how I got into the insurance industry, which is my full-fledged career, commercial insurance, almost 30 years.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So I'm a licensed commercial insurance broker in New York State, and Texas, and Jersey, and Pennsylvania. Yeah, so that's my, that's where my bread and butter come from. So that's the bread and butter job that was messing up the pay when I was supposed to go to LA last week.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, God, you brought me here, so I couldn't get mad. It's like, God, I'm going to just leave this to you, because I didn't, that invite to that Jason Lee event was really awesome. But what I realized that Jason Lee was starting his record label, not record label, his show. He was starting his show, the Jason Lee Show. So the first event that he had was for what the people that were invited were the people that he considered the influencers. Mm-hmm. So now the event that he had last week was the full-fledged rollout of the Jason Lee Show.
Right.
But I said, you know what? Even though I can't make it, I can still be effective. Because he considered us influencers, and like he paid for the food, he paid for the drinks. Right. They gave us a tour of his space where he's going to be doing his show at and everything. And it's right there next to the Netflix. Nice. So I was able to make certain connections. So that was what's it about for me. It's about the networking and the connections. So, I was able to do a lot of promotions, and the people, they sent me the email, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm upset, I'm not going to be able to make it, but, I'll just share what y'all share. I'll just share it, because that's what it's about.
Yes.
And as long as
you'll
you're
be there for the next
as long as you're on, I was going to say, as long as you're on that guest list.
Right.
Yes, as long as you're on that mailing list.
Right.
Right. So what's next for you, Renee? Royal.
What's next for me? Yes. Well, last night I was up late working on. I work on another magazine called Certified Hip Hop. I think I mentioned that one to you. So I have a Mikey D interview that I had since November. Nice. Yeah. So
shout out to my big bro.
Yeah. So I had to kind of type it out because they don't have the video interview, I guess is that what you call it? Okay. What do you call it? Electronic version of the magazine. They don't have that digital, right? Yeah. Right, the digital. So I had to type it out, and I be doing a lot, so it's trying to find time to do stuff. But anyway, I was up late last night. I finally got it finished, and I was like, "Wow, this is really awesome." That Mikey D interview was really dope because, as I'm listening to, I had to create the questions and then I email it to him, right? And then he sends me an MP4 back, him and Nadine, shout out to Nadine Muhammad. And I'm listening to it and I'm like, wow, so one of the questions that I asked him, what do you consider yourself doing in the next 5 to 10 years? Because you know where he came from, Mikey D, right? I know you know. So his answer was a better version of myself.
Yeah.
He said, I'm not going to sit up here and talk about I'm going to do this. I'm not going to sit up here and talk about I'm going to do that. But I'm going to be a better version of myself, and I have faith, and whatever is for me is for me. And I was like, wow.
Yeah, that's a dope answer.
Yes.
Definitely dope.
Yeah, so that's how I feel. I didn't plan to have a Royal Hustler company. I never planned to. When I started my company, it was a record label. I was managing my nieces. And I ended up turning it into promotions because I always had a love for small businesses. So I never planned for what I'm doing now. I just have great administrative skills, and I've been in corporate America since I was 19, and those are the skills that I apply to what I do.
Yeah, it's a great resume.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. So,
and like I said, everything is 360. Like you said, you was working in a record store and you had already had a rapport with these artists.
Right.
And it's crazy, like when you talking about Mikey D, my brother was a DJ and an MC, and he would tell me that, you know, Mikey D was his family and Roxanne Shante.
Right, I remember.
And all these people. And then after he passed, I met them.
Right.
And Mikey had told me a quick story. He had got locked up in my brother's jail because he was a correction officer. Mm-hmm. And my brother would take him out the cell and feed him and stuff, and they thought he was a snitch. I was crying. It was, hilarious.
They would think that. I would.
Yeah, so...
But to look at that now, how they thought he was a snitch, but now you have snitches.
Exactly.
Remember, I posted that what's his name?
Listen, Royal, she be putting up crazy stuff early in the morning on her pages, and I'm like,
it's never intentional. That was Bobby Shmurda. He made a song called Rat Nigga.
Yeah.
And so I happened to catch it, you check your IG or you check your social media in the morning.
Yes.
And I'm like, wow, this is something that I need to post because you know why? It's a lot of bitch ass niggas out here. Sorry.
You would never expect this.
There's a lot of bitch ass niggas out here. Like, yo.
Oh my gosh. On that note, Royal. I mean, you can, but I don't really like to be messy.
I know,
on my show.
Sorry. I'm sorry. My bad.
It's only the second
But
show.
I do want to call y'all out on this. We are not in Queens. This is Brooklyn.
Is this Brooklyn? Because I
saw. It's Brooklyn.
Exactly.
So why are they saying it's Ridgewood, Queens then?
Okay, because that's Ridgewood. Oh, that's what they did. They redistrict.
All addresses in Queens, and you're from Queens, right?
Yes.
All addresses in Queens County have the dash in it. If you don't have the dash in it, then it's not Queens.
But mine have the dash. That's why I'm bugging. Like, this is not Queens, yo. I saw Schaefer. I saw Decatur.
Okay, well, they say it's Queens, so we're gonna say it's Queens.
No, I'm saying this is Brooklyn.
Anyway,
Brooklyn's in the house. Queens, get the money out of here.
Hold on. She's getting canceled right now. You are not going to play with my borough, all right?
This is not...
Queens, get the money.
Y'all doing some Nas playing. You're doing some Nas stuff right now.
Yes, I'm eating you right now.
You're doing some Nas stuff right now when he said they shooting. I made you look, but it's Brooklyn's in the house.
Never that. Queens, get the money.
Yo, once you cross the Interborough and you see the cemetery, that's Brooklyn. You know that, right?
Wow, did you just say Interborough? I
said that.
I know, like it's.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
It's all about Queens.
She didn't even say Jackie Robinson. She said Interborough.
You know that's new.
I can't believe you're hating on my borough.
No, we're not hating. I'm just
on my show.
I'm just.
I brought you here, Royal.
I'm just clarifying.
And you're hating on my borough.
I'm just clarifying the lines.
Okay, well, they said it's Queens.
They said,
I would say it's Queens.
Who's they?
Well, I lived in both Queens and Brooklyn, and I love both of them.
No, I love them too, but I'm just saying, I'm from Brooklyn, old school Brooklyn. So once you cross the cemetery on the Interborough, that's Brooklyn, B.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to where can they reach you on social media? Because it's still Queens. Get the money. Southside, Jamaica, Queens is in the building. What it do? 50, what up? Where can they reach you?
They shooting.
That's all right.
I made you look.
Yeah, but we know how to move. We know how to bob and weave. That's why we from Southside. Where can they reach you on social media?
Okay, so my Instagram, my business Instagram is best. That's Royal ROYAL _Hustler HUSTLER _company COMPANY. That's spelled out Royal _Hustler _company. I have a podcast that I'm on Thursdays. It's called The Control Room. That's with Boardwalk Global Media.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Yeah, we just did an event at the Hip Hop Museum.
Yes.
Back in December. It was cold as hell, but it was nice.
It was shout out to them.
And,
the Hip Hop
in the Hip Hop Boulevard.
Yes.
There's a Hip Hop Boulevard Awards that we're working on right now.
Oh.
Yeah, and what else? I know there's more stuff, but that's it for now. I don't need to be doing everything.
Okay, so as my other two guests did, and you did it when you got on here. Ready, Royal? It's
called 31.
All right, so before we go, I want to thank all my guests, and the meaning of this. What?
Yo, that was some alfalfa stuff.
Oh, shut it. Okay, so Before my guests go, I wanted y'all to understand that this is my second show, and it was the Unity of Media. Janelle, come get in the picture, please. No, you gotta make. She's just gonna come right stand in the middle, y'all. And I want to thank all three of my guests, Keri, Janelle, and Royal, for being here. And before I go, I need y'all guys to support Code 31 Media Magazine. And like I said earlier, there was a young lady. She's a single mother. She's short in stature, but her heart is big, and she has a daughter. Her name is Nene, and she just celebrated her 5th birthday. So shout out to Toya and her baby Nene.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And to all the 21 TikTokers, Big Baby Scotty on the cover, and Hot Granny, it's a double cover. Hot Granny is also the sponsor of Code 31 Media Podcast, and also for Code 31 Media itself. So shout out to Hot. This is Hot Granny right here, y'all.
Nice
That's nice.
Shout out to her.
She was on our live just now.
She was on live
Shout
just
out
now.
to Hot
Shout
Granny.
out to Hot Granny. Let
Salute,
me tell you,
queen.
this is what it's all about.
Yes.
Unification of media.
Right.
Unification of people that
Unification
really...
of people.
Right.
Of people,
Authentically.
of people that have your back genuinely.
Right.
There's no hidden agenda with her.
Right.
Like when I met her on TikTok, she's been solid with me from day one. And, that's why, she actually told me to put this young lady on the cover, Big Baby Scotty. She's a big DC on TikTok. If you have a dance or a song, she will make a dance to it and make it go viral. So shout out to Big Baby Scotty. And look, again, Hot Granny telling, very unselfish. She said, put her on the front, put me on the back. So that's who's on my second issue of Code 31 Media Magazine. This is the second issue. So
and
y'all can get this on UMag.
I was going to say, how do people
Yes, you can go to magcloud.com under UMag Publishing and get Code 31 Media Magazine. These are both on sale right now for $10 on the website.
Nice.
February 1st, it goes back up to the original price of $20, but it wasn't about the money for me. I wanted to make sure that you guys understood what I was trying to do with my hard work and just see the the quality of my work with both magazines. And now we have to do a part 2 because now people they didn't believe that the first issue of the TikTok edition was coming out. There was people that tried to distract me from doing what they do. But I want to thank everybody that tuned in tonight. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate my guests. Shout out to Math, S.STREET Media, World-A-Rama for bringing me home to S.STREET Media. It's Coach D and it's Code 31.
What about the advertising? You want to advertise
if you want to advertise, if you want me to advertise live and shout out your companies on here, just inbox me for details and I'll get back to you. So you could have me talk like right now. I could be like, shout out to Hot Granny, for Midwest Superb Cleaning Services out of Wisconsin, Milwaukee. You know what I'm saying? That's her company. Hot Granny, 1980. So I'm giving her shout out right now. So this will be the live shout out if you want.
That's where Laverne and Shirley was from. Remember?
Yes. So if y'all want a live
Jeffrey
shout
Dahmer.
out, inbox me if you want your
I didn't know that. Sorry.
Your physical banner. Inbox me for details. We doing it big. If you need us to cover your events,
absolutely,
concerts, just hit us up.
Hosting.
S.STREET Media and Code 31 Media, we here. I will put your whole concert in the full issue of Code 31 Media Magazine. Ain't nobody else doing that out here, y'all. Come on home to S.STREET Media and Code 31. We changing the game for 2023. I appreciate y'all. It's Coach D and it's Code 31.
It's good.
31.